This is the ultimate guide to brewing by a cafetiere. In order to achieve this, we will need freshly roasted coffee beans, we'll need a grinder, the cafetiere itself, a pair of spoons, some digital scales, and some soft water. First, you need to find yourself some delicious coffee. Preferably, the delicious coffee will be as whole beans because grinding fresh will make your brew so much more delightful. This does work with pre-ground coffee, but where possible, do purchase whole beans and purchase yourself a grinder as well. When grinding for your cafetiere, we look to achieve a medium coarse grind, and this will allow us to reduce the amount of silt and sludge that is synonymous with this method of brewing. Next, you'll need some digital scales. The scales are important so that we can accurately brew to our recipe. The scales will allow us to repeat a delicious brew should we achieve one, and if we didn't, we would be able to understand where we went wrong. We of course then will be able to use the scales to change one variable and do so accurately. This is very important to brewing consistently delightful coffee. Use fresh, clean, filtered, soft and delicious water. Do not use water that is hard or that is drawn directly from the tap. This is a very important step in order to get wonderful coffee from your cafetiere. Now that we have all the items, this is how we're going to brew. We are going to use a brew ratio of 60 grams of coffee for every litre of water. And in this brew, we'll use 30 grams for half a litre. Weigh out your coffee beans and then grind them. Ignore what people say and do not grind too coarse. You should aim for a grind size that we would describe as medium. Once ground, place that coffee inside of your cafetiere and place the cafetiere back onto your weighing scales. Set your scales to 0. Now we're going to boil our fresh, filtered, soft water. Take it to boiling point. Don't worry about the temperature, just boil the water. Once the water's boiled, pour the right amount of water onto the coffee. And then wait. We're going to wait for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, you're going to grab one of your spoons and you're going to break the crust that's formed. What will happen now is some of the fine particles will fall to the bottom of the cafetiere, and there'll be some larger bits that will be floating on the top, as well as some foam. Grab your other spoon and scoop that foam and some of the large bits out. You can just pop those in your sink if you wish. Now the hard part, we are going to wait for more time. I'm going to wait for at least another 5 minutes. So it could be 10 minutes until we actually get to the point of pouring our first coffee. During this 10-minute waiting period, what will be happening is all of those little fine particles will be floating down to the bottom of the brew. And this is going to help us achieve a lovely, clean and well-extracted coffee at the end. Once 10 or so minutes has passed, we're going to put the filter into the top of the cafetiere. Now, we are not going to press it all the way down. We do not want to stir up the sediment that we have allowed to drop out into the brew. Rather, we're going to place the filter gauze just under the surface of the liquor. This means that it will prevent some of the larger particles floating through into your cup and thus give you a lovely, clean and crisp cafetiere brew. Now all we need to do is slowly pour into a preheated mug or cup of your choice. If you follow these steps, I guarantee this will be the best, most delicious, silt-free cafetiere that you've ever had. Enjoy.